Hi class, in this video I am going to go over the syllabus. Although all of you can read the syllabus, I do want to provide some detailed information just to make sure that you understand what the course is about and what the expectations are. So if you go to our home page, you will see several links. The link at the very top is the syllabus link, and then there's also a link to the DECC syllabus supplement, which provides specific information about DECC. Here we also have a link to introduction to the course and a link to the textbook. I will be going over the introduction to the course and how to navigate the course in another video, but in this video we're going to address the syllabus. So if you want to download the syllabus, go ahead and click on syllabus to download the file. Or if you just want to preview it, you can just click on the magnifying glass. So we're just going to preview it for now. We don't need to download it. So once you look at the syllabus, the most important information you want to take note of is the contact information. Since it's an online class, it's very important that we know how to communicate with each other. So the best way to communicate with me and to contact me is through my email, which is natalie@nmsu.edu. You can also go ahead and email me through Canvas. I do have both of those emails connected to my phone, so I will most likely reply to you as soon as possible. However, with everything technology related, sometimes I don't get notifications, so I do check my email regularly anyways, but if it's been more than 2 or 3 days and I haven't replied to you, then go ahead and let me know that you emailed me. That way I can see if there was an issue. My office is located in Dash 99B, which is at the Espina campus, and my office phone number is 575-527-7615. Now, this semester I am mostly teaching at Gadsden and Sunland Park because I live in the El Paso Sunland Park area, so I do not visit my office a lot because it is in Las Cruces. So if you want to call my office phone number, please make sure that you leave a voicemail. That way the voicemail and your number gets emailed to me and I can see that you called. If you just call and you don't leave a voicemail, it just notifies me that a person called, but it is not emailed to me. So I have to wait till I go to my office and look at my caller ID, and then I'll see that somebody called, but I don't know who the number belongs to. So it's just best if you want to contact me through phone, call my office phone number and leave a voicemail. That way I can call you back. Speaking of my office, I do have office hours, but like I mentioned, I am mostly at the Sunland Park and Gadsden Center. So my office hours are on Mondays at the Gadsden Center from 1:05 to 2 p.m. and 3:40 to 4:45 p.m. On Tuesdays, I'm at the Sunland Park Center from 11:10 to 2:10. Now, I am also available by appointment, so if these times don't work for you, or if the Sunland Park Center and the Gadsden Center are too far, I can definitely schedule an appointment with you and we can meet at a campus that works for you or whichever one is more convenient for you. However, just keep in mind that I do teach during the day, so we would have to kind of schedule something that fits both of our schedules. Also, another way that I communicate is by posting announcements every Monday, so that is something that you want to check frequently. So if we look at the catalog description, basically this class allows you to cultivate the skills that you need to succeed in college and in life. So we will be covering a lot of study skills, financial awareness, career, job related stuff, just a lot of material to help you, like I said, succeed in college and in life. So another thing that you want to take note of is that our course textbook is completely free and it is online. So all you have to do is click on it and access it through Canvas. And something else that you want to be aware of is that there is an end of semester activity that we all have to do, all College 101 students have to complete. It's basically an essay where you reflect on the semester and what you learned, and this is worth 15% of your grade. As far as work and course competencies, you guys can go ahead and look at that. You just want to make sure that you attend class and obviously that you submit your own work. Now, The methods of instruction are completely online, so you want to make sure that you do have access to Canvas, that you know your password, and you also want to make sure that you have reliable internet connection. And once we get to the assignments, like I mentioned, we have one common reflection assignment at the end of the semester. We also have two formal assignments. In the first essay, you're going to be discussing an action plan. So you're going to come up with some sort of barrier that you're currently facing, like procrastination or time management, and you're going to develop an action plan based on the skills that we've learned thus far in the class. And this is worth 50 points. And you're also going to do a career research PowerPoint where you research your career and major and things like that. Other coursework that we're going to do include minor assignments like the ONET Profiler. We are going to have 10 weekly assignments. We're also going to have quizzes over the textbook chapters. And of course, participation is worth 10 points. And participation online basically means that you're active in the discussions, which we're having 10 discussions, and that equals 100 points. So all of this totals 600 points, and the way that your final grade is calculated is by adding up your points and dividing it by 600 to get your final grade. So if we look more into depth at the assignments, the weekly assignments, like I said, they're short assignments. They're usually about a page, or sometimes I ask you to fill out a handout or a worksheet. These are due every Sunday. So these assignments will be due every Sunday. The first essay, like I mentioned, you're going to analyze college skills and put an action plan into place so that you can overcome a barrier that you're currently facing. This essay is about 2 to 3 pages long, and that will be due around mid-semester. Then we're also having a career research PowerPoint, which is basically where you create a PowerPoint that researches your major and your in your future career. Like I said, oh, and those assignments do have specific dates that are listed in the syllabus and also on Canvas. The discussion questions, we have 10 of them, and with the discussion questions, you have to do two things. The first thing is you need to make sure that you reply to the original post. This should be done by Thursday. And the reason for that is that we don't want to wait to the last minute to submit our discussion post. Because what ends up happening is sometimes I have several students that wait to the last minute, and there are students who want to finish their discussion assignment early, but they have nobody to respond to. So to avoid all that, your first post, which is responding to the original post, should be submitted by Thursday. If you don't submit your first post by Thursday, then I deduct points from your participation grade. Then you have until Saturday to reply to a classmate. So to get full credit for the discussion questions, you have to post twice. Once replying to me, the original post, and the second post should be a reply to a classmate. Now keep in mind that these should be well thought out and you should take grammar and punctuation into consideration. So you should write about 6 to 10 sentences for each post. Obviously you can write a little bit more, but just keep in mind that really short posts like, I agree with you, great point, that's not acceptable. If you think somebody made a great point, go ahead and say why so that we know and you can develop your response a little bit more. So discussion questions are due by Saturday. So like I said, your first post needs to be done by Thursday and then your second post by Saturday. And of course, with discussion questions, you want to make sure that you are respectful and that you use proper language and you don't use like bad words and proper grammar punctuation so that we can all understand each other. And we're also going to have quizzes over the textbooks, and these quizzes are timed. Now, it's very important that you read the textbook chapter before, or that you're familiar with the textbook chapter, at least you skimmed it before you take the quiz, because the quizzes are timed, and depending on the number of questions, that's how much time you're going to have. Now, it's very important that you read this because quizzes can only be taken once. So once you take the quiz, that's your final grade. So make sure that you don't start a quiz unless you're ready to take it, because Canvas is very weird when it comes to quizzes. I cannot open a quiz just for one person. If I open up a quiz, it opens it up for everybody. So it's really hard to make up quizzes or to open up quizzes again. So you can only take it once. Make sure you're ready. Start the quiz and complete the quiz in a timely manner before the time expires. Now, another thing to point out is that I suggest you take the quizzes on a computer because sometimes I've had students who take it on mobile devices or they take it on um, Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer and it just doesn't, the quiz does not go through. So it's very important that you take it on a computer with I think Mozilla Firefox and Chrome are the ones that work best with Canvas. So when it comes to classroom management, you want to make sure that all of your coursework is typed. Make sure that you submit either a doc file or a doc file X or a PDF. Please don't submit anything in Pages because I do not have access to a Mac and I cannot read those at all. Um, so just make sure that the file is actually readable. Um, Also, when it comes to Canvas, like I mentioned before, it is an online class, which means that the entire course is on Canvas. So this requires for you to be an independent learner. It also requires for you to have reliable internet connection. So please keep in mind that computer malfunctions, Wi-Fi or internet connection issues, and not having access to a computer will not be excused since the deadline allows for plenty of time to find an alternative. And this is very important because sometimes I have students who wait to the last minute to submit an assignment and then something goes wrong with their internet. So to avoid issues like that, make sure you plan accordingly. Make sure that you have reliable internet. If you don't have internet, we do have a computer lab at every one of our campuses, and they are opened, I think, until like 9 p.m. So you can definitely go to our DCC computer labs and use the computers there. We also have free Wi-Fi at our campuses, so if you have a laptop, you can take it to the one of the campuses and use the free Wi-Fi there. So just keep in mind that there's a lot of options and try to not wait until the last minute to submit assignments just in case something does go wrong. Uh, Another thing, as I mentioned earlier about attendance and participation, physical attendance is mandatory, so you should be logging in weekly to submit assignments and post discussions. Um, every week we have something due, so you want to make sure that you log in every week. I don't accept late work as I skip ahead um, to the next section. The reason I don't accept late work is because it becomes a habit and really it sets me behind when it comes to grading, and then it also sets the student behind when it comes to submitting work. So it just sets us all back. So because of that, I don't accept late work. So make sure that you are logging in weekly to submit your work to know what to do. I try to provide a summary of everything that's due for the week in the announcements. So if you check announcements, you will know what you need to turn in for that week. But I know that sometimes things come up. So if you have some emergencies, if you're going through personal issues, just let me know and I can go ahead and maybe give you an extension or we can make arrangements for you to submit the work through email. But again, but make sure that you contact me first and let me know what's going on. Um, Obviously, you don't have to provide every single detail, just let me know what's going on. But also keep in mind that I also have to abide by DACC policy and financial aid policies. So there's only certain things I can't do. Like, for example, I can't let you submit every single assignment late, or I can't let you, you know, do the work way ahead of time or give you extensions of like more than a month because that would go against policy. So, if you do have an issue that arises, just let me know and we can discuss it and we can make arrangements. Um, I skipped over courtesy. So going back to courtesy, again, just make sure that when we're communicating with each other and with the classmates, make sure that you're respectful. Make sure that everything you say is appropriate for the course and that you stay on topic. Please don't bring up stuff that's not relevant to the course or to the discussion that we're having or anything that has to do with personal lives and things like that. We want to make sure that we're respectful and that everything we say is relevant to the course as well. So moving on, the out of class work expectations, usually you should spend about 2 to 3 hours per credit hour. So for this class, you should probably be spending about 3 to 6 hours on this course, though obviously sometimes less. So just keep that in mind. Also, please make sure that everything you submit is your own work. We do have plagiarism software now that is available through Canvas. So when you submit your essays, your major essays, they will be reviewed by that software, which is called Turnitin, and it will let you know what percentage of that essay is plagiarized. So just make sure that everything you submit is your own work. And please, if you plan to withdraw from the course, make sure that you withdraw properly. Please look at the dates over here, which is October 18th is the last day to withdraw. You don't ever want to just stop attending a course without officially withdrawing. So if you have any questions about that, make sure that you contact your academic advisor or that you contact your financial aid advisor and ask them for information if you're thinking about dropping a class. So here we have important dates, and this brings us to our schedule. So the way that I created the schedule is by weeks. So if you go ahead and you look at each week, I tell you what you need to read and then also what to do. So for example, for the first week, you need to read the syllabus, and you also need to go ahead and submit the syllabus quiz and the discussion number 1. And then for the next week, you need to read chapter 1, and you also need to read you don't need to read. You need to submit discussion number 2 and assignment number 1 and technically quiz number 2, but it's over chapter 1. So make sure that you look at the syllabus. All of the information and deadlines are listed there. So hopefully this helps you organize your essay. Also, I have entered due dates for every single assignment on Canvas, so your calendar has all the due dates as well. So make sure you look at your syllabus, make sure you look at your calendar, and you should be fine in terms of like due dates and things like that. I had one student who said that she printed out the Canvas calendar to keep track of things. So, that's a good idea. Maybe print out the Canvas calendar, print out your syllabus as well. If you have an agenda or an agenda that you use on your phone, like a calendar that you use on your phone, definitely write in the important due dates on those as well, just to make sure that you keep on track and that you don't have any late, you know, late submissions, but also so that you don't forget that things are due, because I know sometimes that happens when things get hectic. So it's always better to plan at the beginning of the semester before things get hectic. So we're going to go back to our homepage. And this concludes the syllabus video. Like I said, make sure that you go over it, make sure that you read it in detail, not just because we're having a quiz over it, but because the information is important. It tells you what to expect from the course. And if you have any questions, let me know.